welcome. Oh, shit. Microphone. Hey,
there we
welcome,
go.
Trophy Caller, the only show that's disappeared longer than the blip in the Marvel Universe. I am Corey Bullis, and with me is always Stephen B. McCoy. You don't remember the B? Because I couldn't remember your email address to send you the link.
There you go. We're back, baby. Back.
And apparently StreamYard has changed the settings of how the video is.
Yeah, so it's like it's just my face.
Smaller.
Yeah. Hello, world.
Hello. So as I was saying, fucking Iron Fist. Just the
Right?
worst.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Call back. Oh my god, it's good to be back. What is a podcast anyway?
I don't know, but if we're back, we gotta.
Welcome back.
Oh,
That's us.
amazing. It was a summer hiatus, is what it is. It's the off season.
Right. Yes.
Before we get into the grind of the fall and winter and spring months, it's we need time to recharge.
Yeah,
That's a lot better.
I don't like this. You know what? Let's do this instead.
Yeah, it's a bit much. You know, if we were able to have ourselves on the screen while we watch a trailer, which I'm sure we'll do many times over in upcoming episodes for this new season, this would be a good layout. But when we're just shooting the shit, catching up because it's been a minute,
need to see the stuff.
That's it. That is it. Yeah. So off season.
How have you been? Busy, eh?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's been, for me, I'll go. It was been Arlo's first kick at the can at baseball.
Nice.
And I decided that I would help his team or coach his team like I did with Oliver when he started. And let me tell you, coaching two teams during the spring and summer months is a lot. It can be a lot. It can equal 5 to 6 nights a week. A lot of Michael Scott moments rang in my head when I was coaching Arlo's team.
Yeah.
You know, the ones where it's like, God, no, what are you doing? No. Where it's, I coach Oliver, who's on a competitive team, to Arlo, who's just learning baseball, and kids, kicking dirt, picking daisies, twirling around, not paying attention on everything but the baseball. It's frustrating, to say the least, but doing my fatherly duty and helping it where I can. But it is over now for the next week until fall ball, and then that starts, and then right back at it.
What's the difference
between
nowhere fall ball and
so fall ball is only for like 5 weeks or so, weather permitting, and it's just fundamentals though. So there's no games. We can organize an intra-squad game like with another team across the city if we want.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it's just fundamentals. This is how you relay a grounder. This is how you catch a pop fly. This is how you pitch. This is how you hit. And then, fun stuff.
I can imagine year-round baseball almost.
It is.
They do t-ball. Do they start t-ball or?
Yeah. They do like rally cap is kind of tied into t-ball. But there's t-ball, and then there used to be called coach pitch, which is now called rookie. This is where the coach pitches to the kid.
Yeah.
Which is what Arlo's level was, and now he's moving up to minor, and then there's 2 years in minor, and then there's major, 2 years major, 2 years junior, 2 years senior with intermediary in between. So
I'm exhausted just picturing that.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
What happened to you show up in your jeans and your t-shirt that just says the region that you're in, and then you hit a couple medium-sized balls into the
absolutely
field?
Not. No.
And no, now it's like, whew.
It's a lot. But you know what? They enjoy it. And
that's the main thing.
They enjoy it, then I'll enjoy it. And like I said, it's a very stark contrast to the two teams in the skill level. And I've lost my cool on the older team a few times this year. As much as I would love to lose my cool on the smaller team, I can't, because this is the society that we live in now. So
it's for fun
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
That's right. You? What about you?
Oh, just living the dream.
Anything exciting happen?
Mostly just family stuff, swimming lessons for the kids this year.
Nice.
Get them better equipped for the lake and other stuff and parties that they get invited to. And
A must when you're Canadian, right? Skating and swimming, two musts. You must know how to do both of those.
You have to conquer the water at every level, whether it's in the liquid or as a solid state.
Respect the water.
Yeah, seriously, no, like that's what they teach you.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it. Respect it, because you never know when you're going to be in it, in one way or another.
100%.
And now, 10 after 8, and I can't see outside, so that's depressing.
So, yeah, Jade has a problem with that, where like in the spring months leading up to, was it summer solstice?
Mm-hmm.
Or winter solstice, I guess, would be the turn where days start longer.
Yeah.
She can visibly be seen as like getting more excited, like, oh, it was a minute yesterday and like a minute longer 2 days ago. And like she gets excited. Now she's getting daily depressed.
When you're looking outside in the dead of winter and it's 5:02 and you can still see outside. You're like, oh yes, it's almost over.
Right.
But yeah, now it's God, it's so dark.
I grow an avocado. I've grown an avocado seed to the point where it's now sprouted and it's got a branch or a stem, pardon me, and like branches and whatnot. Earlier in the summer, and earlier in the summer, late spring, early summer, I'd put it in our kitchen window because it got all of the sun there for most of the day. Now we're at the point of the year where post 2:30 in the afternoon, I have to run it up and put it here on my window because all the sun moves to the back. Or the front side of the house, I should say. It's
just terrible. You're just chasing the sunlight now.
Old men complaining.
Right?
Honestly.
That's what you notice. Like when we get up now, there's more audio than there used to be.
It's too loud.
Yeah. If it's not the joints or the bones, it's just your mouth going, ugh.
Yep. Just a big old stretch.
Right? And all you did was get up. You didn't even stretch. You just got up.
What did you do? Woke Shifted. Up. That's right. Yeah. I
breathed today.
I moved. Yeah. Had a big sigh of relief. And then I had a sigh of relief to the sigh of relief. Because I was able to move.
Double sigh, yeah. That's clutch. So March was the last one. So what have we missed in
Jesus Christ. How long do we have? Months? Honestly.
Like there was an Olympics.
Yep. Ray Gunn blessed her with her skills.
Okay. Let's big screen this up. There's no way that was real, right? Like she did not go in this thinking I had skill.
Having been married to an English person for 11 years together for almost 22, there is a term that the English use, which is, are you taking the piss?
Yeah. And
taking the piss, if you've heard of it, you know what it is. If you haven't, for those that haven't heard taking the piss, it's, are you joking? Like, are you taking the piss? Like, are you shitting me right now? I don't know if she was taking the piss. I have to believe that there's some still level of, grandeur of the IOC that wouldn't allow this to happen. So for that that's the only reason why I think it's not as I'm growling at a bug.
Us conspiracy theorists are the ones that are thinking that it all had to be some sort of joke because, like, we've grown up with 80s movies and we know a lot of stuff. We know what breakdancing looks like, and we know what breakdancing.
I used to breakdance. Like I used to breakdance at my high school every Friday for our high school.
You put down the cardboard and
100%. Every Friday, we
flat
did it.
Top so you can spin on it. And...
Used to have a hat without a bean because the bean would hurt.
Yeah.
So I'd find a hat, and a good thing would be like a little beanie, like a toque. That would work well. But yeah, so I've done it. Olympic worthy? No, absolutely not. But yeah, so you get. It was unfortunately real. I'm going to say, but. Quite embarrassing, and actually dropped off the schedule for the 2030 or 2028 Olympics.
Yeah, LA, it's on there.
in a minute.
Coincidence?
Yeah, like within days. Did you watch the Olympics? Did you get caught
Oh
up
yeah,
in the
we were watching it because like Parker was way into it, so he needed to know the medal count, needed to see anything that Canada was qualifying for, or then
Yeah.
subsequently, even if they weren't in anything, he still wanted to watch it. So we watched our fair share of. And it's fun because it's now something other than look at the dumpster fire that the Earth is becoming, well, like wildfires or the politics and all that shit. It was like something you can just watch
Yep.
and like have chats with people, and whether hey, this is great or this is terrible, but it was still something that wasn't our everyday lives.
Like I still say the Winter Olympics are my favorite. I think that's just by proxy of us being in Canada. We almost just are naturally attuned to the Winter Olympics. But I will say that we got caught up in the hype of this past Olympics in France. And even though it was in France, which is what, like 6 hours, 5-6 hours ahead, found it very accommodating in terms of like how to watch it. And that could be all CBC and all, CTV and whoever owned the rights, whoever was broadcasting it. But even if you weren't watching primetime, it was still very easy to watch and to get into. A lot of good stories, like Summer McIntosh. My God, she's 17 years old and this is her second Olympics. Are you kidding me? So I guess any age can be, qualifiable for the Olympics if you're 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's 14 that you have to be at minimum to get into. Much like
how is that even like that's so low to me though. Like in my mind, it should be 18. Because you're still developing. Like in some sports, maybe it's irrelevant, perhaps swimming being one of them. But, think of track or speed skating. You go up in any of those sports as a 14-year-old competing against someone who's twice your age in their prime. You're not coming out of that in any good fashion. You're just not. Like you will be obliterated. Maybe not. It was quite funny actually when Jade and I watching it, and you saw, I'm sure I might have even sent you one of these memes. But it's like, the two of us sitting there and it's like, oh my God, that was an amazing move that the diver just did off of the diving board.
Yeah.
As soon as we said that, the commentator is like, oh, disastrous mistake. And it's like, okay. Like it looked amazing to us.
Yeah, mainly the diving is like that, right? It's like someone jumps off, does like 18 fucking forward flips, and you're like, this is great. But it's, oh no, he was too high. That was one too many rotations. Arms weren't like straight. They were out too early.
100%. And
like,
and if
what?
When they're slowing it down in slow-mo and they're pointing it out, you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But for them to see that in real time, it's almost as impressive as actually doing the dive. When you have these judges that are like, oh no, it was like a millimeter or two. The wing was out too far.
I like to judge the judges. Like, hey, wow, you guys picked all that up? This is insane. I missed all of it.
If we judged it, everyone would get a gold medal. Gold medals for everyone.
I can't believe that they can see that stuff at that speed. And even the commentators too. But hey, that's what they're paid the big bucks for or volunteered for. I don't know. It's funny though, watching that and Olympics and hearing all the Americans on social complaining that CBC's coverage was far better than anything that they got in the States.
Really?
Yeah, the people were watching the CBC streams like when they were like traveling through Canada or whatever. People were saying this is amazing. Like and shout out CBC Gem with like 18 different feeds going on at the same time. Whereas here you're watching it on Sportsnet or CBC, it's the same shit at the same time. Like, why is there 3 channels showing the same thing?
Yeah, no,
the app that's good. Free is showing everything.
The one thing I didn't like was Simone Biles. Simone Biles, is that her name?
Yep.
The gymnast came back. I didn't like the Hollywood celeb, focus on like, oh, all these celebrities are here to watch her, and it's like, well, what about everyone else? Like, what about? I don't know. I could be I could be coerced into an argument that it's good for the Olympics because it's it's putting it on a broader scope, and celebrities are there and they're focusing in on the Olympics or whatever. But I just found it like if you're gonna do that, try and like find celebrities for every event if you can. Understanding that it's
it was the gymnasts. I think maybe some of the swimming.
I didn't see any celebrities for swimming. Did you?
I think Snoop was in everything.
Oh, Snoop. Okay, yeah, sure. One. Like he was probably paid by the IOC to go. I saw Tony Hawk at skateboarding, which is cool.
Where else is Tony Hawk going to be?
Yeah, right. Tony Hawk coming out for cycling.
Well, if it was BMX, you never know. It's kind of
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
It's kind of close.
Okay, so we watched Olympics. What else has happened in 6 months? No, has it been 6 months? No.
It was March, April, May, June, July, August. We're in September now, dude.
It's 5 months. Wow. Okay. I watched the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
Yes, you were telling me that.
Yeah.
You
It was. I mean, I don't know if you have this in the deck or not.
No, go ahead.
Okay, good. No, it was great. It was enough to keep our attention. Very formulaic, I would say, in certain episodes. At times, MacGuffins were conveniently placed to carry the story forward.
Of course.
But it was entertaining. And I think that's just what I expect now from Star Wars. And I don't expect anything more than that. I don't expect it to, push the Skywalker story forward or get into the mythos of, the Skywalker saga. I think if you can just tell me a good story and tell me where it happens, then I'm okay with that. Is Boba Fett ageless? Because he, I swear to God, looks the exact same age as when he was in
Attack of the Clones,
episode 2. Like, I swear, I mean, that's great for him as an actor.
Although he was Jango Fett then.
Right.
Because Boba's a clone.
Right. But, I mean, still, he's pulled from Boba. It was good. The one thing is that you cast certain actors and it will take you right out of the story because they're just very vanilla in terms of their skill and what they've been in. And I speak mainly
Timothy Oliphant.
No. Oh well, yes, him for sure. Yes, definitely that episode. But then also the assassin that partners up with Boba Fett. She was in Shield.
Oh yeah.
She's the Asian. Just very like I just almost can't take her serious in the role. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not like it. Almost as soon as I saw her in Mandalorian, I was like, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to get from this character.
It's like when you have somebody, an actor who's constantly used over and over and over and over and over. It's hard to see them in this new universe as somebody other than you've seen 100 times over.
And I think, if she was okay, and I can't remember the character's name, but I think if she was in Mandalorian for only a few episodes, which she was, I think that's okay. But then when you have her in the entire season of Book of Boba, that's when it takes me out of it. It's like, okay, could you not have you're Walt Disney? You are rich beyond all imagination. You could surely find someone that, can play that role just a little bit better.
Yep. What else, Chris? We had several folks pass away. Richard Simmons, Bob Newhart, Shannon Doherty.
Oh my God.
We had Bennifer split up.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole Diddy saga.
Jesus, yes. What is going on in the world?
I don't know. Shelley Duvall passed away. Yes.
Who is that again?
Shelley Duvall. Yeah, from The Shining. No, you don't, because you don't watch horror
Oh,
movies.
from Popeye.
Yeah, I was gonna go Popeye, but I thought,
Yeah.
you know what? You probably wouldn't have seen Popeye.
No, I have
The
seen
Shining is well versed in the universe, even if people who didn't see it know who was.
You know
in
what?
The Shining.
She is like she's the actress that I get mixed up with Rocky's wife,
Talia Shire.
Adrian. Like Adrian and her
really?
are almost like, I feel like they could
Interchangeable?
be interchangeable. Wow, okay, she died. Oh, and I was gonna say someone else, but I think that was last year. So
Aerosmith's no longer a band, like not touring anymore. Like so much has happened. Even movies we didn't get a chance to talk about.
I watched Dungeons and Dragons. That was really good.
I didn't get around to watching that one yet.
Okay, so this is how I know it's a good movie. My 30-second review of the movie is that my wife had said to me, I have no interest in seeing this movie with you and the boys, but I will still watch it.
Okay.
AKA, I will be on my phone. Turned on the movie. Right away, she was into it. Fast forward, whatever the 2 hours that the movie is, she is now saying she wants to play Dungeons and Dragons. She's like, I could get into this board game. This is interesting to me. So for that reason alone, it was an amazing movie. And, it was humorous, and like there were some adult jokes, and like it kept you like it. I never played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid, mainly because my friends didn't play it, or else I would have, because I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. But I feel like it was very true to the game, while inserting some humor at the right points of the movie to keep the audience engaged, which it was. But yeah, she now wants to be a D&D-er, if that's even what you call it.
A dungeon master?
A dungeon master. I am the storyteller.
That is like, did you then show her videos of how the game actually goes and see
like baby steps. She's
gonna pull out her her character profiles all written down.
I latched onto that, and I said that's something that we will do in the fall when it's a rainy day and we're like not going out. We have the Dungeons and Dragons board game. We'll crack it open. We'll give it a shot.
Crack it open.
What else?
Yeah, never. I don't know anyone who played Dungeons and Dragons either. I know people who play Dragon Dice, but
is that not the same?
It's literally, they would do it in the schoolyard and just roll dice, and something happened. I couldn't follow along either. But it's no character sheets, no story. It was just, I guess, rolling high numbers.
I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. It's something that's always interested me, but again, the friends that I grew up with had zero interest in reading comics and playing these games, so I've never partaked.
What kind of friends?
I don't know. Not good ones, apparently. What else has happened? Shit.
In silence.
No, you know what? Actually, so we whatever. This is going out to the world, so I'll just say it anyway. So we've caught up on Vanderpump Rules. Call back to episodes ago where you had made fun of Jade and I for catching up on all 14
No. I made fun of you.
That's right.
You are here. I can make fun of you.
That's right. So we did that, and then we did a fast pivot to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and now we're on season 6, and we are fully immersed into this train wreck of a show. Yet I can't turn away. I can't do it.
Well, that's the thing about Rex, right? Everyone.
But it's so formulaic. It's like, okay, so this episode we're gonna make up a reason for the girls to get together, and the girls are gonna get together, and then someone's gonna say something, it's gonna blow up, and they're gonna yell at each other, and by the end of the episode they're gonna be friends again, and then they're gonna start the next episode about how they're gonna bitch about what happened, and then they're gonna say that they should go and have it's a lot.
You're telling me it's not real? It's got reality right there in the show description. It's a reality show.
This is how the world is. Like, this is real. So
crazy.
But we did make a vow, or not a vow. We did make a New Year's resolution that any show that we start in 2024, we won't stop until we've seen it all the way through. And we're holding true to that. But fuck me if we've chosen 2 shows back to back that are 14 episodes or 14 seasons each. It's like, Jesus.
How many
like,
episodes each season?
Oh, like 19. And they're like 40 minutes.
Oh, good Lord.
I know, it's a lot. And then I had like it was baseball and Housewives. What it was this summer. Yeah.
No, it's like, and I know like we complain how like something on cable or streaming is like 8 episodes. Like, that's not enough. Because we're so used to the 22, 23 seasons from shows in our youth. But now it's like 20 episodes seems like a chore.
It's a lot. So here's a great question. What is that sweet spot for a season in terms of number of episodes and length of episodes? And do you live in a world where you can see seasons that have a combination of the 30 or 20 to 40 minute episodes? What does that look like to Corey Bulis?
Give me 13 episodes, 45 to 50 minutes each.
Okay. That's fair. Would you like to see some episodes be like quick hits, 20-minute vignettes on a character and then 40 minutes next episode?
I don't like
the
filler
larger story?
episodes.
Okay.
Like recent example that you watched, season 3 Daredevil.
Yeah.
If the story's not progressing, you kind of lose me. Was it season 2? No, season 2. It was season 2 with the backstory in Karen Page. Like
Wait, when she was younger and at the restaurant and
yeah, like that was
that's
just
season 3. That's 3.
Season 3. Okay, I was right. So season 3, where we just like you're doing all this Fist stuff, you're doing all this Matt stuff, and then no, it's Karen episode.
Okay, that's a fair.
It's a good episode, but I like the story to progress through. And like if another bad example of or a good example of bad decision is The Walking Dead. As it went on, we had episodes that were just about characters that didn't move the story at all. It's like this event happened, they split up. Now, what are they doing all at the same time? So like it's Wednesday, and Wednesday, Tyrese is doing this and Rick is doing this, but they're 2 different episodes. And they only had 16 episode seasons split in half.
Yeah.
You have the big cliffhanger mid-season, and then you come back and the resolution is what happened to these people all at the same time after this happened. And then, there's 3 episodes left. Now we're going to move it forward to finish off the year. That I hate.
But what if it's season 1, like season 3, even season 2? I completely agree with what you're saying. And then the Karen Page example, yeah, there was no need because it was season 3. They already knew that that it wasn't going to be picked up for season 4 at that point, I'm sure. But what if it was season 1 and you were just getting to know the characters? So if season 1's
fine. Season 1, you expect like you'll get your characters and you start to learn a bit about them as you go. If there's a throwback to what brought Karen Page from where she's from to New York City, fine.
So you have a 13 episode season, like you said, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
You dedicate 6 40-minute episodes to the larger story, and then the remaining 7, you could have like little vignettes on the characters and working in the larger story, and it all be mixed in like that. I could sign up for it. That would be more manageable. That I would digest. Beyond that, though, it's too much. Like there are so many series that I want to watch The Sopranos. I want to watch The Wire. I want to watch. I want to finish Game of Thrones, but I just don't know that I can do that because of the amount of seasons. Fucking even as I'm saying this, it's like, someone can turn around and be like, "You're watching Real Housewives." What the fuck? I mean, anyway.
Well, things like The Wire and The Sopranos, I feel like those are not just commitments for the length of time that they were on the air, but it's a commitment to like this is something you got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of movies I haven't watched it because I know I have to sit and I have to watch them and I have to dedicate time to focus on them. Like
Tenet.
Twice it took me to get through that movie.
Front and back.
I watched about the first hour and I had to turn off because like I don't know what the hell because you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So then I tried it again and still, but like the Scorsese one, the new Leo one. Was it the Killers
Oh,
of
the
Flower
Flowers of
Moon?
the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 3 hours. Like that's a day. That's probably a day watching. Just if you don't have the time to focus, you have
Yeah.
to keep going back.
Irishman. Did you see Irishman? Would
That
be
was
one?
the next one. No, that's another one too. I got to take the time to.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's all good. Like you see.
If I was younger,
well,
no
you didn't
commitments
have
for sure.
any
Like I sat there.
responsibility.
I bought when the Godfathers came out on Blu-ray.
Listen,
I watched Godfather Part 2. Sat there for the 4 hours. I watched the
100%.
whole thing.
If we lived in the world today, if college Corey were around today with all of the options that were available, you would love it because there would be no commitments. You could totally, sit on your ass on a Sunday and just watch whatever you wanted to watch. Yeah. Can we do that now? No.
I did get that a couple weeks ago. Ashley took the kids up to her parents, so I had Sunday to Tuesday all my own.
Oh my god! Did you get like super excited and like plan it out and then it
No, I spent like most of the day cleaning. Like I cleaned the bathrooms in the house. I swept, vacuumed, and shampooed the carpet in the family room.
Holy
cleaned
shit.
the stove.
Let me guess, you were really happy when that was done. You were
Oh
pretty
yeah,
happy.
because there's no one to mess it up.
That's right. It's
Like,
gonna
the carpet
dry.
It looked perfect
Yeah.
until they showed up that Tuesday night.
Corey's like, I could sell this house right now.
I watched Deadpool and Wolverine again.
You watched it
That
twice?
after? Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
good.
I did get around to watch movies I hadn't seen. I watched Eli Roth's Thanksgiving horror movie. You wouldn't be interested.
Nope.
And Dumb Money about the GameStop.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah, watch that.
Great movie. I think I actually mentioned that in an episode earlier this year.
I'm
with,
finally catching up.
With what's his name that played the Riddler?
Paul Dano.
Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rogen,
Nick Offerman.
So let me just really quickly on that. Were you, and I can't remember if I mentioned this when we recorded it, but were you surprised that it was, 2021 when all this happened?
Yeah, it was during COVID, yeah.
Did you not think it was a lot sooner than that? Or was that time frame like, oh yeah, okay, I remember it being that long ago? I just remember watching it myself,
I don't remember
being like, holy shit, like it was that long ago, which really it was.
It's one of those things that it's like I remembered it was during COVID.
Yeah.
But then I also thought like did that just happen? Like no, that was fucking 3 years ago.
Do we call that the COVID effect? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Because I think that was definitely a COVID effect.
That's lost years for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just like I cannot believe that not just that it happened, like these guys made lots of money off of GameStop, but it's that these hedge funds are allowed to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The government knows what they're doing. This is clearly illegal stuff, and nothing, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But the little guy making a little bit, they're the troublemakers. They're the ones that got to be stopped.
Spoilers, like some of the people that were in the movie, not necessarily like a featured character, but some of the, character. Some of them just got washed by it all.
Yeah, and then a lot of these billionaires got bailed out and got their money back.
Would you have sold? Would you have pulled out? Would you honestly? If
I would have invested like $100,
yeah,
and it was 105, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm out selling.
Really?
I don't have that in me to let it ride.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I have investments going, but I have like surefire investments going on, stuff that's like you can't lose, so it's not much reward. But
what was it? That nurse that she put in like $5,000, and it was up to like 500,000 or something like that.
Yeah, she let it ride, and she was ended up being 17 grand in the hole.
What was it in the hole? Oh,
yeah, she was. At the end, they show where they finished off. Like those two college girls were like made out all right. Obviously,
yeah.
The main guy got all right, but yeah, she was end up just it all went away.
Wow. I like movies like that make you think, and because it was so recent in our memory, you kind of think back and it's like Jesus, like as if that happened, you know.
Mm-hmm. But I will say this: so when that was happening, I did think about it. As someone who doesn't invest in things like that, I did think
I did too, but I didn't. That's the thing too. I'm very cautious when it comes to that, where I almost need to overthink to the point where like it's already passed and gone by.
Yeah.
When I'm like, yeah, I'm in. It's like, no, that was like
crypto.
2 months ago.
Remember crypto was starting, like, oh, let's get on this, and then
Yeah.
now that it's they got arenas named after it, they got all these other apps and stuff started, and then actually it's too late now.
Yeah.
There's no money in it. It's like buying the toy when the fad's over.
What else? Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
There's just so much. We can go into what new things. Did you see this? Boom. We're getting another Jurassic World.
Oh, is this with Scarlett Johansson?
ScarJo, yeah. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Okay, now I'm just kind of
Number 7 in the.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get a little lost in the chronology of.
Okay, so there's Jurassic Park, the Lost World Jurassic Park 3. Then we
these are like you would consider these like the original 3, much like Star Wars, right?
I would consider them the original 3 because they are the original 3.
No, fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. But I don't know, like maybe.
But then we jump into the World trilogy: Jurassic World, Jurassic World: The Lost Kingdom, Jurassic World Dominion, which was the last one to come out.
And those are all the ones with Pratt.
Those are the Pratts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this one.
And now this one's coming out.
What, like they're rebirthing the island and like reopening the amusement park and.
Actually, no.
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
So the synopsis of this one is it's set 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion. The planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the one in which they once thrived. The 3 most colossal creatures within the tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now they're starting to like, that's a bit much. You lost me after the first like 10 words.
After 5 years after the last movie, that's all you need.
100%. And it's like, now it's like the key to the, like the if you.
We got to save the dinosaurs to save the earth.
The Krakoa age of the mutants, like they, created this drug that was, saved people 5 years of their life and ridded cancer. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is just dinosaurs. Like, anyway, so ScarJo's in it, which is like, okay, that's awesome.
July 2nd, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's got dinosaurs, so I will check it out. Will I go see it? Probably. But will I go see it opening weekend? Most likely not. But maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming I need to see the ones with Chris Pratt. And don't get me wrong, like I would like to see them, but they're just not high on my priority list of things I need to see.
I will say this. If you liked the first one and the idea of the park, watch Jurassic World. And then
you're talking about like the OG. If you like the OG,
if you like the OG and the idea of wow, there's people going to come to this park and there's dinosaurs. Watch the Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, the first Pratt one, because that is what the movie is. It's the park has opened. This is what John Hammond wanted to do. And then the rest you don't really need to see. Because the second one is basically the second one with Jeff Goldblum, is that the idea is now we're going to sell these dinosaurs to recoup money that we've lost over the park, which is kind of what they were doing in the Goldblum one. And then the third one is I don't want to. We're having fun. I don't want to get.
I started watching the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
It's still a work in progress, that title, I would say. I wouldn't have rubber stamped that if that were me.
That is the issue with the entire run of Planet of the Apes movies, because you have the Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. Then we go over to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes, and then now Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I'm about a third of the movie in, but I love that series. Like it's, I will watch it and I'm sure I will love it. I just haven't had a chance to finish it.
as you can see behind you, and I haven't put them up yet, but I will eventually replace my hats on the wall with my mini Marvel Legends. I'm gonna have those tacked up.
Oh.
There is at Walmart. I saw Amigo of Cornelius from the OG Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I want to pick that up.
Do it.
Oh, dude, I'm married. I can't just go and buy what I want. Not when the price is astronomically like
Not
ridiculous
if you don't
for what you're
say
getting.
it to anyone.
If it's like $5-10, sure, but it's not.
No.
So I'll keep an eye on.
I bought a PS5.
Oh, is yours collecting dust like mine?
Yeah, no. Well, not right now. So
What'd you get?
A quick idea of what Gamer Steve looks like. Gamer Steve is the type of gamer where he gets really, hot on the game and will play it like an hour a day.
Yes.
And go ride this mountain of the game and then just go headfirst
Off
into
a cliff,
this valley, off a cliff, and then won't touch
Yep.
it for like 6 to 9 months, and then we'll spark the interest and try and finish the game. And it's ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, as it were. But my birthday was in the summer, and was asked what I wanted for my birthday, and I generally use GameStop to get Marvel Legends figures. So I was like, oh well, I will get GameStop gift cards. Combination of GameStop gift cards and some money, and the trade-in value of my PS4 made it so that the PS5 with Spider-Man and the controller was only like $150. And I was like, that's pretty
All
good.
right, yeah.
Like I will do that,
Yeah,
I will do that. My PS4 I've had since 2009, so it's had a good run. I figured 15 years is not bad.
No,
I will take it. And so I will have this PS5 probably until about 2040, I'd say.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good. I'm playing Spider-Man 2. I have 2 games, Spider-Man 2 and Jedi Survivor, I think, like the sequel to Fallen Order. 50% through Spider-Man 2. And then I'll probably won't play it for 2 years. And then I will pick up and play this game. But I have all the other games too, which is great. So anyway, that's something else that happened. Very exciting, very riveting. Uh-oh, what do you got?
No, I'm just going through mine. So
you have a PS5?
Yeah.
There you go. Look at us.
So I got Miles Morales.
Okay.
Not finished. Spider-Man 2. Not open.
Not open.
Guardians. Not open. Last of Us.
Ask you. Okay.
Not open. Gotham Knights. Not open. And NHL 24 played with Parker, I think 3 times.
How do you have a game that's not opened? Explain this to me, please. And that
I
also
don't
is
jump.
very nice
I
Harley Quinn in
don't
the
jump from. Sorry.
That's a very nice Harley Quinn in the background.
Yes, I'm 38 years old and I have a Barbie.
It's nice though.
But it's Harley, so it works.
That's right. Okay,
Oh,
so
that helps too.
how do you not?
I also have Michael.
It evens out. It evens out.
I don't game jump, so like I won't open one until I finish one. So Miles isn't finished. Ergo, I'm not going to go into Spider-Man 2.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
It's a continuing story.
But then, why would you have bought in the Guardians of the Galaxy knowing that you had?
I'll give you an excellent response to that.
Okay.
When I got my PS5, I got 2 games for free.
Okay. And you chose Guardians
Last of Us and Gotham Knights.
Okay.
And
you still bought Guardians of the Galaxy.
Doesn't answer your question.
You still bought Guardians of the Galaxy. Go. That's great. No, it's really good. Go for it.
I can't answer that one. I don't know why.
But we got technical issues for Open Collar podcast.
I swear to God, I thought when I was telling the story, I thought that game was with them, but I remembered no, it wasn't. It was the other 2 that weren't open.
And then you just sewered yourself even more.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Welcome
Spider-Man
back,
was
Corey.
Spider-Man 2 was a Christmas gift.
Okay, well that's okay then. But so do you kind of have a trend on when you tend to play video games? Like I know you're very busy in the winter months and spring months because of your profession. Like do you find that in the summer you're more likely to be able to play?
Yeah, like I played on the weekend, but I didn't play any of this. I grabbed my Nintendo Switch and played on that. Because it's to me it's easier to pick up a handheld and just game than it is to come down to the basement, go into the office, and then park myself on the couch and set up a video game when I can just open my nightstand, pull out this handheld, and then start playing.
Do you play Switch in the bed? Well,
yep.
Your better half is trying to sleep. Do you really?
You got it.
That's
and then I get told to stop doing that. I'm trying to sleep.
And then you turn over on the side. It's like I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly what happens.
And then you put like the blanket over so like it doesn't illuminate the room.
The brightness is turned way down, volume.
And it gets really hot in your face, and it's like I can't breathe.
Yeah, and you're just trying not to button mash because that makes noise. Yeah,
that's right.
That's exactly what happens.
It's almost like you don't press the button, Corey. You like push the button.
You push it.
Push the button. Push it down. That TV in the background, is that what you use for your PS5?
Yes.
That's amazing. You have a gaming room.
Well, I kind of
yes. That's amazing. I do not. It's on the main level with the one TV that we have on the main level, and I so badly want to get like Bluetooth headphones so that I can hear the game while I'm playing, but I haven't gotten that far yet. That's a commitment. Like if I do that, then that's basically me agreeing like I've got to play. I've got to be a gamer now, full time.
Yeah, if you start putting money into it, aside from just buying the games, but if you're gonna get, I need a chair or I need the headphones, I need the.
Spider-Man 2 is really fun, I will say.
I have not heard a bad thing about
it. Miles Morales is really fun. If I think back to like 4 years ago when it came out. Just saying.
The game or the movie?
The game.
Okay.
2018. Oh wait, 2020. What is it? 20? It's at least 4 years. I'm gonna wager that it's been a while. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
You're gonna open it up when PS7's out. It's gonna be backwards compatible, so you're gonna be perfectly fine. And
yep, that's right. Spider-Man 3 will be out. I better continue the story.
Spider-Man 6 is out, and Mr. Bulis is still unopened with Miles Morales. Wow. That's all right. Hey, I respect that because I'm the same way. It's ebbs and flows, right? Peaks and valleys.
Yeah, then I talk to people at work who are like literally in the same position me doing the same kind of job, and every night they're up till like 2 a.m. playing games.
Do they have kids?
Yes.
How is this possible?
Understanding wife.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Because again, they're gone all October, November through to April, and still come home and hey,
you might be working into May this year now because of the hot new goalie that's been acquired. I'm just saying.
We're working into May just because the schedule puts us halfway through April.
That's true. Touche.
I want to try something different since we've been off for a while.
Yeah, let's do it. This is what it is. We're all back. Where juices are flowing. Let's do it.
You familiar with Ranker.com?
Not at all.
Okay, so Ranker.com is a website that basically ranks whatever you are interested in. They put out new lists all the time. So I was just scrolling through and this popped up, and I want to say if you agree.
Okay. I have a question. Oh, no, I'll let you finish the explanation. I have a question afterwards.
Yeah, it's literally just lists. Fucking lists. I guess users go in, they say, we're going to do a list of this, and people vote on it, and then they tabulate the results, and this is what the list is.
So this is not a website where you can be like, I want to know who my favorite Houston Astros players are of all time. You just have to assume that someone else has already added that list to it. Like, can you create your own ranks? This is getting technical. I don't mean to Just
No, I don't think you make your own. Is literally you just hit vote on, and then whatever list is being populated, you vote.
oh,
on.
cool. So this is like a real-time game we're gonna play.
Yeah.
We don't know
More
what
or
the
less.
topic is, or do we know?
Oh, I know this one is because I saved this. I saved this list. when I
Okay.
saw it.
Okay.
So this one is now. It has over 700 entries into this list. So I am
Jesus
100% not going to go through all 7. I'm going to go
Oh.
just top 10. Okay. So this is the most rewatchable movies.
Oh, easy.
So, top
Are
10
we
list.
guessing them, or are we just gonna?
You can guess
go
what's
through?
on there. What do you
Okay.
think is okay? I'll have this.
Are they
I'll
broken
give
down
you-
by genre?
No. This is just all put together.
That's
I don't know if you got a pen or paper. Write down what you think 3 of the top 10 would be.
Okay.
Or at least what do you think the top one is? You can put down 3 guesses of what you might think the top movie is.
Sure.
I'll give you some honorable mentions while you're doing. These are not in the top 10. I'll say these are within the top 20
Okay.
of one. So I'm not going to give you any particular order either. We got Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Swear to God, just was watching that last weekend.
The OG one.
The OG, Gene
Okay.
Wilder, Goonies. Sequels coming out on Friday. Beetlejuice. We have 2 Pixar's Monster Inc., Nemo, Die Hard, Guardians of the Galaxy. So those are just some of the ones here in the top 20. But I'll give you the top 10. Let me know when you have your 3 written down.
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is coming in at number 10, Men in Black.
It's terrible.
That's what I said. I've seen the movie enough, but it's not one like, oh, I'm going to, you know what? I haven't watched Men in Black in a while. I'm going to throw Men in Black on.
Yeah, Men in Black is one of those movies where, what year did it come out? 97?
97. That's right.
Yeah. So it's one of those movies where the rewatchability was for a finite amount of time, let's say the first 3 years. And for sure, I could totally be, oh, yeah, I watched Men in Black. You know, it was great.
And I
Came
feel
out a
it's like
couple
one of
years
those ones
ago.
you would pop, if you're a fan of the series, you'd pop in, watch it again when the next installment came out.
Right. But beyond the 2000 and afterwards, and when a new movie came out afterwards, MIB3, no, this is terrible.
Higher on my list, because I watch it religiously, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
The Lion King, the original 94 cartoon.
Okay.
I think
wonder.
it's- with each kid you have, you probably watched it again.
Yeah, but I wonder.
I'm not just throwing it on for watching it.
The thing too to consider is like, at the time that these lists are made or these rankings are made, are they, is a pick or two or one pick being thrown in because it's being created at the time of a new release of a movie? Like, as an example, if one were to come out 2 months ago, would Beverly Hills Cop be on there because Beverly Hills Cop 4 just come out? And it's top of mind for everyone. I'm not saying it's on the list, but I'm just saying like that could be.
I understand. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's I could see that being a thing. The next few could fall into that category. Number 6, Toy Story.
Oh man. Okay. Well, okay. Man.
Number 5, Shrek.
Okay, so this is for families, I guess. This list.
Here's where it differs. So we're going into the
Aliens.
top. Not on the list, but I did just
No.
watch those, and I did see Alien Romulus. Number 4, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Now, going to what you're saying about the rewatchability. Now, is this because we also grew up in an age where TBS showed it every weekend, 24 hours a day?
Yeah, but it
You know,
is
3 chances to watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
But it is a
always on
good story. It
Yeah,
is a
and it's
good
always on
story.
TV.
100%. And if you're of right mind and development, then you would understand that story to be good and you would appreciate it for what it is.
And everybody knows that Andy Dufresne crawled through a tunnel of shit
Dude, for freedom.
for freedom. Here, so we're in the top 3. Now,
So far, none of my 4 are on the top 10.
number 3. We were just talking about it a few minutes ago. Jurassic Park.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Not gonna lie, I just watched this not too long ago. It was on TV, and I will put it on. Number 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, I was going to put Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I didn't in lieu of something else on my list. But yeah.
Okay, so let's go with what you have and see if it is number one.
Okay, so in no particular order, I just
Yep.
wrote them down for ones that I feel are top of mind in a moment or two.
Mhm.
Rewatchability.
Okay.
Star Wars, OG.
Mm-hmm.
Goodfellas.
Yep.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yep.
Just because we just watched it, and it's hilarious. Like we had a conversation. We went to Westport today, had a conversation about it, and it was just it's so good. And then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I was hesitant to put that last one on, but I figured, rewatchability. But am I cheating because it's a seasonal thing? And so, but
No,
hey,
Home Alone was on there.
yeah, that's exactly why I'm okay with saying it now because of Home Alone. So, Dumb and Dumber. I'm gonna put Dumb and Dumber top 5. Boom.
Mrs. Doubtfire comes at number 34.
Okay.
Goodfellas does not appear on the list.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Do you like Goodfellas?
I love Goodfellas.
It's amazing.
If you said let's watch Goodfellas right now, I'd say turn this off. Let's go watch Goodfellas.
I would never turn it down.
Number 26 was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's terrible.
But the number one movie on this list, and it's been a minute since I watched it.
Okay, so it's
Back to the Future.
Really?
Back to the Future.
I'm surprised. You threw me off for a loop because you said you haven't seen it in a minute.
I haven't seen it in a minute, and I always want to watch it, but Ashley's never seen it, so I always sit and wait to think maybe she'll say, let's watch it, and then that's when I'll watch it.
Has she never seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
And we just watched the Michael J. Fox documentary this weekend.
Yep.
Amazing. I highly recommend.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know for a fact that I've seen Back to the Future so far in 2024, so I can safely say in the last 8 months I've seen it, and I think I trend pretty good with that movie. I see it at least once a year. It doesn't hurt though that it's on channel 32 when I need it to be.
Exactly.
It's like perfect.
Where do you think I'm watching Jurassic Park? It's on, or Ghostbusters. It's on AMC all the time. Shout out AMC.
Like, there are very, very few movies that I can think of anyway, where the opening sequence, you just know what it is. You just get hyped for it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how many times you've heard the story, you want to hear it again. The clocks in the room. It's just like it sucks you in. And I am a sucker for it. I am. Like it's one of those ones where you walk by the TV and you wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very few movies like Ghostbusters. If it's on, I'm watching it. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, it's on. And basically anything with Gene Wilder, I'm watching it. Or even like a Mel Brooks movie.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. For me. For whatever reason, Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. I gotta watch.
Never seen it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's a good time. He's a good leading man at the time. And Back to the Future. I can hear like, especially the second one. You know, it starts off like like the Steven Spielberg Presents. I can hear like the din-din-din.
Yeah. Back to the Future, Dumb and Dumber, Goonies, Ghostbusters. Those are just a few that come to mind. Goodfellas, obviously, we just talked about. Yeah, there's a lot,
80s,
actually.
Man. It's the 80s.
The 80s and 90s, man. I'm telling you, like, they made movies different back then. They
were built to last then, that's for sure.
They were longevity, right?
So, yeah.
We should definitely incorporate. 100% we should. Incorporate it more into... So can you do, like, sports and stuff like that? Like Greatest QB?
Whatever. We can find whatever you want. It's Ranker. Shadow Ranker. Are they
I mean, the name could probably be work in progress. Like, oh, that was so rank, man. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. We got other stuff to talk about. So
that's right.
Water break. Take a breather. Throw in a commercial. Nice. And then come on back on the other side.
I miss these.
Anybody home?
In here.
Whoa, Jenny, is your sister home?
No. But I'm here.
Congratulations. You passed the test.
A test?
I put my sister up to it.
Oh, Jake. You do love me.
Amazing.
That's amazing. That's a great commercial. That is a great commercial.
They don't do commercials like that no more.
Dun, 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 dun,
Unfortunately.
dun, 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 dun.
Let's do it. Obviously, got to go with the biggest movie of the year. And yes, I have now seen it twice. Deadpool and Wolverine came out
July 26th.
July 26th, so just over a month ago. Steve, what say you?
Oh my God! Really, I was going to ask you to start off because it's been a minute. I've only seen it once. So let's hold on before we dive into this. Let's set the table for the level of media blackout that you had. Like, did you see all the trailers? Did you avoid the spoilers? Did you? And when I say avoid spoilers, I'm talking about like previous to July 26th.
Saw the
Like
trailers.
how dark were you going into that movie?
I was hoping to see it opening weekend. Didn't happen. Thought I was going to see it opening week. Didn't happen. And then, you follow people on social that are in the movie, and I guess they didn't give a fuck after the opening week. So then I just basically knew everything by the time I saw the movie.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Let that be a lesson for you kids out there.
Yes, go the week it opens, or prepare to know what happened without seeing it.
Okay, so I saw probably at least 2 of the trailers. I don't know how many were released.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I saw at least maybe, I want to say the first 2 to the point where I stopped when I realized, okay, I kind of get the gist of the story. I know that the TVA is involved and like a cross-dimensional multiverse saga or whatever, and I kind of stopped at that point. Thank fucking Christ I went on opening day because it was a good movie. I found it to be much grander than the first 2 in terms of the storyline, but I feel like you kind of had to go down that road if you were introducing Deadpool into the MCU and Wolverine for that matter. There were some really exciting cameos that I think made me appreciate the movie more, and still to this day, even after seeing it, that I can't wait to see it again because I want to see those cameos.
Yep.
There were some confusing parts in terms of like, how is this? I guess I walked out of the movie thinking like, okay, like, was the intent to not push the MCU forward, or did they try and push the MCU forward? If they did, maybe I didn't catch it all and I kind of missed the purpose of it, or was it very isolated in terms of the Earths that Deadpool came from and that Wolverine came from?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It was, in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, it was billed as like, this is what's going to set the MCU on the path for the next 10 years. Like, there's a reason why they're only releasing 1 Marvel movie this year, and this is the reason why. And that's the impression that I got, and it could be wrong. Like, maybe I missed it and that wasn't the intent, but that's the intent I got, was that there's a reason why there's only 1 movie, because we're focusing everything on this movie to make sure that we're setting the path kind of vis-a-vis like an Iron Man 1, like it was just, this is it. And I missed the connection point on that. Maybe you caught one that you can speak to. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I really so badly want Oliver to watch the movie, but he's not of age yet. Yeah, he's just not of age. Having said that, huge fan of Ryan Reynolds in everything that he does. Love him. Bordering on a man crush. But I also felt that there were some jokes in the movie that were just a bit like, okay, you're saying it to say it, and you're saying it to be funny, and you're saying it to play the tropes of the previous 2 Daredevil or Deadpool movies. Like, dial it back a bit kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt like gay jokes now are gay sex jokes.
Yeah, and like the cocaine jokes, and it was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like okay, like well, I heard this back in the first one, and it was really funny in the first one. I don't need to know.
Not so funny in the second one. Definitely not funny in the third one.
Yeah, and like now I think you've covered all 52, slangs for what cocaine is. I think we're good now, right? But yeah, I think it's also been a minute since I've seen it. I'm probably missing some finer details. I think Hugh Jackman, fuck man, he can own this character till he's 80. In my mind,
That was the running joke, right? Until you're 90.
I would be okay with it. It's funny. You look at someone like him in 2000 when X-Men first came out, and it was like, oh my god, he's like 6'2", and how can he play this? And Wolverine's supposed to be a runt, but he's owned it for 13, 14 movies for 20 plus years. Like he's owned that character and can continue to own it. Favorite part of the movie, and I'll finish it on this. My favorite part of the movie was going through all of the dimensions and seeing all of the different Wolverines. Was amazing. Like that.
You even got your actual size Wolverine.
Yeah.
Played and made fun of
100%. And like the first, like the John Byrne first appearance of Wolverine, where like the Hulk's in the silhouette of the like just amazing. Absolutely.
You even had the suit. The brown.
He had the suit. And I think was it Cavallerine? Is that what the thing is? Cavallerine.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's what his character is in the MCU going forward. I think that's just him like, hey, I've signed up. I'm going to play this one part and I'll play my actual
Hey, it
character.
worked for me.
It worked for me.
He was
like,
fucking jacked.
Yes, like just like
jacked,
and anyway. So yeah, it was a good movie. Was it perfect? No. Am I happy that it's only one Marvel movie this year? Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. If it rights the ship, I'm okay with it. Was I hoping this would be the one movie that did it? Yes, and did it do it? Not so much. So
yeah, it's still hard to tell what they're doing. Like we know we know where it's going, but it's the how it's going to get there is still unclear.
Yeah.
Like it seems they also keep changing the rules of the multiverse with every project as well. Like you go back to Endgame and it was you take a stone out and it branches. But you got to put the stone back. It's fine. But then Cap can go and start his own timeline and then come back old, and that's fine. You have the TVA pruning anomalies to right the sacred timeline. But then now we've established that it's okay for Deadpool to go through time, change things, restore his timeline to how he wanted it. No issue. We can then now pluck, quote, anchor beings out of timelines and put them into this main timeline. That's fine. Then we go back to, Loki season 2, where, he's a variant and Sylvie's a variant. So they have to be taken out, but now they're living just fine. So it seems like with each one, they're changing the whole rules of it.
Yeah.
To, coax the story. So which, again, this all could be explained come the grand finale of that is Secret Wars. It's all incursions. That's going to cause a problem. Same with what happened in No Way Home.
Yep.
Where like the TVA knows what needs to be done, but they're all doing their own thing. Like, Paradox? Mr. Paradox?
Yeah.
Like I said, he's clearly was rogue throughout the whole thing, using the Universe Ripper or whatever he was. So yeah, I don't know. But serviceable sequel for sure.
I think Marvel, Disney, they've been playing loose and fast. I think we've talked about it at nauseum with the multitude of announcements that they've had for their streaming services and the Moon Knights and She-Hulks and Scarlet Witch and Vision or Wanda and Vision, all of these shows. And then the movies, like the 4+ movies per year, they got to a point where, it was loose and fast with everything that they were doing. So my hope is that this just scales things back a little bit, kind of resets the odometer. You've got Captain America 4 coming out in February, I think, of next year. And then after that is...
Maybe. I perhaps.
Yeah. But maybe they get back to just a couple movies. They're dialing it back on the streaming service. I think because they played so fast and loose with the stories and the threads and whatnot, that it was inevitable for it to get convoluted and annoying for those of us that want a well thought story presented to us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I think my hope is that we've kind of got past that. Brave New World is that one that I think might be. I have hopes of it being Winter Soldier, and I think that might be setting the bar too high. But I don't know if you have a trailer queued up. But if you do, we'll wait.
Maybe.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to.
What if it's a trap?
Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
That part's cool.
You can give me Red Hulk, you can give me the Serpent Society, but that pitch perfect delivery of I'm not on that Steve Rogers line, to me, that sells the movie for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is where I'm struggling with this movie, in that Sam Wilson is a protege of Steve Rogers.
Yes.
And we know that Steve Rogers is someone that upholds virtue and nobility and honor to the highest degree.
That's right.
We've also seen a movie where Steve Rogers was pitched on joining the military, aka at the time SHIELD, and was against it. That was actually the first movie that we saw, Sam Wilson. So right away, I'm like, what's happened between then and now that General Ross, or now President Ross, can say to Sam, I want to reinvite you into working for the government? Like, why would Sam consider this if he was introduced to the world by someone that was against it for the right reasons? Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
no, I get it.
He's saying it very nonchalantly. Like, I want you to work for the government again. And Sam's like, maybe I will. And you can kind of get a sense from the trailer that he has decided to do that. But like,
my only thinking is we're too far removed from the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, where they tried to reinvent Captain America which essentially, U.S. agent, and they had those sleeper cells of groups trying to create their own super soldiers, and then Sam going through the history of the super soldier program and Isaiah Bradley and all this stuff. So I think if that was more recent leading up to this, you could probably pinpoint it a bit better, but I'm sure there's obviously going to be something else going on.
Well, and in fairness to that argument, this movie was supposed to come out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Like, okay, that's a good point, because I completely forgot about that until you mentioned it. And okay. So was that Isaiah Bradley that just threw someone against the wall and tried to shoot the president?
That's right. So something's going on there too.
Is that Serpent Society? Maybe.
Maybe. Well, the leader's also in there too.
Oh right, yes.
That's the
And
guy
you
with the
haven't
hat.
seen him. And you haven't seen him.
You can look.
Did you
He was all green,
I missed that part.
and it's also Tim Blake Nelson's voice.
I didn't. Oh, okay. I don't recognize his voice, but what?
No,
what
I know.
point?
He's the one
Anyway.
that says like the world is changing. That was him.
Oh, okay. GW Bridge too. I used to have his figure when I was a kid. Very
My other question
obscure.
too is they're going to be having adamantium is a big thing, and obviously
We called this though
Sentinel?
like a year
Yeah,
ago.
we did. Was it it's not a sentinel? What do they call them again?
Celestial.
Celestial. That's right. But I know we talked about this way back when we used to do the show regularly.
Which we will get back to. So you're
but I thought of it then, and I guess I'm thinking now, what's the point though? Like we have the vibranium. Vibranium is the strongest thing in the universe. So now we got adamantium. It's just as strong. Just to say that it's Wolverine, but we have Wolverine and
no. I think it's a mechanism to introduce Magneto.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, introduce Polaris, who introduces Magneto, or introduces Doc Samson. Like there are definitely a few characters that you can introduce that.
Before we move on to something, I want to ask you a question.
Okay. This
We're
Corey
big-
pulls up the chair.
Yeah, leg is crossed now. Where's my mug? Magneto. His history is very much tied to World War II and Nazi Germany. Yes.
Mhm.
We are in the year 2024. In order to have that be part of his history, you would have to be around like 80, 90 years old now. Do you have to change that background by the time we get to when he is eventually introduced, let's say in the 2030s, almost 100 years removed from it, for people who might not even know necessarily what happened back in 1945?
There's a
Or
couple of-
it's the Marvel Universe. He
so-
got ported over from this timeline.
Yeah,
now.
so there's a couple of things that's a very good question. And I feel like there's a couple of avenues that you could take. Number one, you could introduce him as you would with the Fantastic Four circa 1960s, and you can have him be heavily involved and almost a martyr for the bad guys in the early 60s or, early MCU era, who would then maybe lead into Polaris' daughter, who can also control metal. That could be one. I was going to say you could probably have him, maybe he's suspended in time, some way, shape, or form. But you've already done that with Captain America. It's very convoluted. And probably the more easier one is maybe he is transported from another universe, a multiverse. I think that's probably what you would do. But maybe what it is that the focus on the X-Men is very much what the focus of the Fantastic Four will be, where it will be a period piece introducing him and Professor X in their younger days, and they kickstart the X-Men movement. And so we as viewers might see the X-Men in different iterations of it, which is not necessarily the original 5, but it could be like the X-Force or the X-Factor mutants, which are second, third generation mutants that form a team. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But the Red Hulk, though, just going back to that, is very, very exciting.
You might see a Hulk that fights.
So here's another thing too. Are we just now accepting, like, obviously Sam Wilson in that movie is our Sam Wilson. We'll say our Sam Wilson is in the 616.
Yeah.
And obviously we know that William Hurt, unfortunately, has passed on.
Yes.
Are we just accepting that Harrison Ford is the new William Hurt, or is he potentially something like, is the potential there that it's a different Earth?
No, I think we're accepting that. It's a
Okay.
recast. It's like with recasting Rhodey.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
But we don't recast Doctor Strange.
No.
we don't recast Wolverines.
Oh, I see a segue coming.
But we recast Reed Richards and we recast. I guess that's really it. Oh, and Peter Parker's.
Oh well, I thought you were gonna go in with like a, Iron Man now, RDJ.
Okay. That's coming.
Okay.
We have we have this.
I haven't seen the trailer.
We are huge fans of the Sony Spider-Verse. Clearly, like I can't say nothing but great things about Morbius and Madam Web.
It's amazing.
Clearly, the best thing they've done since Venom. I think it's the only thing they've done since Venom. But here's Kraven.
First time I'm seeing this.
Oh, cool.
We are hunters.
Enjoy.
The greatest the world has ever known.
Охотник до сказки.
Каждой сказки есть правда.
Who's next?
He's having a cup of coffee, like.
I heard the noise of thunder.
Are you like your father? A gangster? A killer?
And I heard a voice. And behold, hell followed with him. There's a man going round taking names.
My son.
And he decides who to free and who to blame.
Yes, an animal stronger than you can imagine.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
Tell me about this hunter.
Some are born and some are died.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around. It's unjust.
You think you're some kind of honor? Some kind of code?
They'll be unjust too.
You're just another man.
Whoever is righteous.
Hunting for a trophy.
Let him be righteous still.
Just like our father.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
Embrace who you really are, son. And you will become a legend.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
When the man comes around. I don't know if you heard that because they said it like 11 times. I will point this out to you. Russell Crowe is now officially the father of Kraven, the father of Superman, and the father of Hercules. He's just going around playing the dad of all these comic book characters.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I know how this movie's going to end up, and I really like
by a radioactive lion.
Well, why is he running around Why is he running around like he's got superpowers already? Like Kraven's whole thing is that he's just the ultimate hunter, and he's smart and big and strong, but he's like Batman essentially.
Yeah. Big game hunter.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, and I was definitely not into it when he was in the prison and he's jumping around. He's like the hunter. Like, no, I need Kraven to be with the big mane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Picture here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Sony. Like what are they doing? Just because you own it.
Well, yeah, and what is it like? They need to make a movie every 5 years to keep the rights of the characters or something like that.
Why couldn't you just have like Grim Hunt? Like throw him in there. Like have him be a Spider-Man villain. He doesn't have to be his own movie. Fuck, you know what? Have him hunt Venom.
Yeah.
Like we literally had a movie with Venom, and the second one they're hunting Venom. Why not have Kraven hunt Venom then?
And you have him sipping on a cup of coffee. Leaning against the hey, how's it go? Like, no, I just like he needs to be, and there's a lot of blood, and like I think they just went overboard on the blood because
Of course,
it's Kraven
well,
Hunter.
you know, when it's
Sure.
R-rated, so then you gotta have violence.
You know what? I can sign up for that. You know, that way of thinking for someone or a character like Kraven. You got me there, but it's almost like if you're gonna go in with that, then jump in with both feet and have him be like fucked up. Don't have him being like, I can have a cup of Joe casually with the woman that's attractive 1 minute and then jump and like, you know, lacerate someone's neck in the next moment. Like, no.
And now we're getting mutated Rhino in this one,
which I'm okay with.
Do you like that? You don't like guy in suit Rhino?
Well, I
versus, there's 3 rhinos, right? There's the ultimate rhino, which is like a mutant. There's the regular rhino, which is just a dude in a suit, and then there's the mechanized rhino, right? Which
that one is the worst one. The one in the suit is that's the one I'm like the OG one.
Yeah, buddy with rhino suit with a little cutout for his little face.
Yeah, exactly. But like the one in the Spider-Man, that was just terrible. Terrible. Anyway, this is just going to be Madam Web 2.0.
But R-rated.
R-rated, so lots of blood.
Other big thing we missed, but this one we were going to talk about here was Comic-Con.
Right?
A lot of things dropped at Comic-Con, but I know the one thing we want to talk about is Kang is gone. Long live Doomsday. So, Kang Dynasty in 2025 is supposed to be now Avengers Doomsday. Or is it 2026? Did they push it?
Yeah.
2026 and 2027. That's right. And RDJ is Victor Von Doom. And they said Victor Von Doom. So there's no out of this Tony Stark variant nonsense that people think is going to happen. We are going to have RDJ playing a different character, different name. But will we see his face? Because Doom is a scarred person that's always in a suit.
Yeah. There was a video that I watched on YouTube about how Victor Von Doom was in the MCU the entire time, and he orchestrated he was on who created Kang and orchestrated his downfall, and they go on about
all those ants.
Yeah, but right, and then he went on about how like Tony Stark in Endgame, when he figured out how to time travel, saw what his future was, and in order to save his daughter, transported his mind into another universe for a variant of himself, and this variant is Doomsday or Doctor Doom. It goes well on the Richter scale of like a lot.
No, I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
but then someone just point the hole in that whole thing by saying, "But Strange saw all of this, and this is the one."
That's the other thing that the guy mentioned too. Is like, so if he saw 14 million, outcomes, and this is the one that worked, which I never really confirmed. So I guess maybe that's their one out. But I think the biggest thing for me is we've complained a lot on this podcast about how they are just going back to the well of things that worked in the past in hopes of making it work in the future, and with varying degrees of success. And I feel like this is the most glaring example of them hoping that they can recreate the next saga using someone that's now 16 years older than when he came and was introduced in 2008, and getting paid $90 million for the movie. Like, good on him. Good on him for, is it 2 movies?
Yeah, because he's supposed to be in both, right?
So $45 million, sure. But you're telling me that
there's nobody else.
Like, there's nobody else. Like, there's Cillian Murphy has been talked about for years about being Doctor Doom, and he would be great.
Yeah.
There's probably people that we've never even heard of that would be amazing. Hey, Marvel, think about phase 1 of the MCU, where there were a lot of no names for the most part. Chris Hemsworth, like they're like maybe bad example, but there have been examples of them casting lesser known actors and it turning into a big role.
Yeah,
Mark
well, we didn't
Ruffalo
really. Yeah,
wasn't
we
huge.
didn't really know about Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, well, there
People
you
could
go.
even say Benedict Cumberbatch.
People said, "Is that a real name?" And people were like,
Yeah.
"Yes." And it's like, okay, well, that's strange. Well, funny you say that.
He's playing Doctor Strange.
He's playing Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm with you.
So I don't know.
Did you see his piece in Variety when they were asking about it?
No.
RDJ?
No.
He said Kevin Feige approached him a year ago about it and pitched the idea. Do you trust Feige at this point?
I trust Feige, but that timeline lines up to me being concerned about when Jonathan Major's criminal issues were bubbling to the surface. And was that a desperate approach at that time? That's what concerns me.
So it could be like, this is happening. We need to figure something out if this goes south.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can say he approached me a year ago, but he could approach you and said, fuck Tony, like, or fuck Robert, we've got an issue. I will back up the Brinks truck to you, but just be on call if we need you. And here's $90 million as a retainer. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my only concern with
that.
that.
Like I see ways that it could work and I can see ways that it's not going to work. Like one thing would be like going back to Deadpool and Wolverine. And for those who haven't seen it, this is going to be the spoiler. Chris Evans showing up as Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
And like being self-aware meta Deadpool, seeing him and going, oh, it's Cap. Right? Which is what the audience would do.
I did that for like 10 seconds.
It's Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. But now it's, oh, here's Robert Downey Jr., who's somebody else. It's not going to be played for laughs, right? So my thinking is you're not going to see his face. That's part of me thinks that's what's going to happen.
But do you remember when Multiverse of Madness was coming out and there was all the talk, and we talked about it, of it being like superior Iron Man?
Yeah.
And it was like it was going to be Tom Cruise, or it could be Robert Downey Jr. Making a comeback when they walked into that version of the Avengers Tower or whatever. It was the Baxter Building.
Yep.
And it was like, oh yeah, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. He's going to be. So did Feige hear this? Like this is, we are now at a point where it's a double-edged sword in the sense that we've come to expect a lot of the brain trust that is running the MCU, but also salty on the fact that we wouldn't be surprised if they are reactive to the shitty decisions that they've made. And they're like,
I think we're getting more of that because I think people are now at the point where they want to see the literal adaptations of the characters. We didn't get that with Taskmaster.
No.
Right? So I think if someone's saying this is going to be Victor Von Doom, let it be somebody else. If this is going to be Tony Stark's variant being Doctor Doom, we want Victor Von Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you've shot yourself in the foot. So do you do this Tony Stark variant, Secret Wars, soft reboot? Now you got a literal adaptation after that? I don't know. You can now because if you're saying this is the guy, then you've already had your one.
So
apple.
This is just me as a fan, but my last gasp of hope with the MCU is that I will kind of put up with everything that goes on up until Secret Wars. Now that they've announced it, or I'm looking at Secret Wars as like this is the epicenter of. You have one choice to make that'll work and one choice only, where coming out of that movie, you've got a brand new Hulk, a brand new Iron Man, brand new Captain America. Everything is reset because that's the whole point is that the Beyonder would reset the dimensions and you are now no longer tied to the Chris Evans, the RDJs, the Chris Hemsworth, no one. It's a clean slate. If they don't do that, it's at that point where I'm like, okay, I think I'm just done.
I think also for me that's a good point to get off the train at that point, right? Like,
Yeah,
I've had it.
This is my stop.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Someone else can take the ride the rest of the way.
There'd be like a very, it'd be a very sad vignette of like the doors closing, subway taking off, and then we're just like kicking rocks, walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
And credits full down.
Pull the jacket in
1980. Yeah, exactly. Just just pull the collar up.
Pop that collar. Comic-Con. We also heard Fantastic Four is now the Fantastic Four First Steps.
Did you see the trailer that got leaked for this?
I did.
Or the footage, maybe?
Yeah, I did, of Galactus. And yeah, imagine you're just like, stepping out of the shower and there's this giant fucking being out your window.
See, I didn't, because I don't break the law. I follow the law, so I didn't watch any of that leaked footage.
Did I say that there was someone coming out of the shower with footage? No, I just imagine Galactus was there when he got out of the bathroom.
I saw it too, and it's very interesting what they're going to do with Galactus in that movie. I don't know.
He's not a fucking storm cloud, so I'm on board.
That's a plus.
But did you see this?
I did. I did.
So we're going to have a practical Ben Grimm on set. What do you think of the suits, though?
I'm very nervous.
A little much? A little...
So, have you seen the 1997?
I have not seen it.
I've seen it.
I think it's like 94 or something.
Or 94, yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I did not have good memories of it.
And you think this is teetering?
This is very teetering.
Little PTSD.
So, are we in a world where like this could be like? Can you have like partial effects? Like, can this be enhanced?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
sure.
then that could work. That could work.
Like Ryan Reynolds just wearing a normal mask on set. Then they CGI his fucking eyes and emote.
So maybe that's what this is. I could be okay with that. But I feel like they almost need to do this because it's a period piece, right? It's from the 60s. So that outfit is very 60s. It looks like they're on the moon. So maybe this is him shortly after he becomes the Thing for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I mean, yeah. Part of me is like, this is awesome. Like they're going back to the roots. But then the other part of me is like, this would be the fourth Fantastic Four movie. They've got to get it right. Like they have to get it right. And if they don't, because of a mistake like this, it's not going to be good. It's not.
I think the period piece is what's going to save it. It's going to be something different. It's going to be like.
Have you read Fantastic Four Life Story?
No.
By Mark, I think Mark Russell wrote it. It's fucking unbelievable. It's so good. It might be up there in terms of the best Fantastic Four story I've ever read. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four person, but I've read a lot of stories, and that's by far the best one. To the point where they've expanded it to Spider-Man. But essentially, they take each episode, 6 episodes or 5 issues, 6 issues, and each issue is a decade. So they start with the 60s, and then issue 2 is 70s, and then 80s and 90s and whatever. And I think they're modeling this story based off of that Mark Russell. Is it Mark Russell? Anyway, I would highly recommend you read it before the movie comes out.
Well, I think I have time. Comes out next year.
You definitely got time. Now I'm wondering if it is Mark Russell.
You can't name drop and then be wrong. It's not like you.
It is Mark Russell. Mark Russell for sure.
Mark Russell. You say it quick enough. I thought you said Mark Ruffalo.
Nope.
We also didn't get to chat about X-Men 97. that you
Oh,
finally got to
really?
watch.
Oh,
We
it's
didn't.
amazing. It's so...
I think I had
Okay.
just started it. I think by the last time we were recording.
So the worst thing about that show for me was that powered through it painfully. I shouldn't say I powered through 97 painfully. I powered through the OG painfully because the boys hadn't seen it and they wanted to watch it. I was like, fuck, like clipping on like 2 episodes per week, as you know, because you're like, what's the update? It's like, I'm still on episode 2 or season 2.
Well, I'm done.
Yeah. So did all that, watched X-Men 97, loved it. Like, it was so good. The last 10 minutes of the last episode passed out, and I woke up and it was over. I was like, Oliver, you got to tell me what happened and how it ended. And for me, it was just very upsetting because I'd gone through all 5 seasons and then all of this for the last 10 minutes to fall asleep and miss the waking up on different timelines or whatever.
That's right.
But it was really, really good. It was, the animation was great. The story was even better.
I think I said to you too. It was better than it needed to be.
Yeah, like, and was it the creator, the writer, the director that got fired the day before? The showrunner, like, didn't even make a dent negatively into the series. Like, it just full steam ahead.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next season will go, because I guess there's like the future, the past, the present. How are they going to intertwine it? Does that mean that there's going to be 2 or 3 more seasons beyond that, because they're going to focus on one more than the other each season? So
now, when you watched it after plowing through the 5 seasons of the OG,
season 5 was awful, by the way.
Yeah,
like where they were different you know, artists or whatever. It was like, ooh. Like,
money changed hands, art studios changed, and
that's right. Yeah, that's not my gambit.
I didn't notice until someone pointed out, but when you watched X-Men 97, you noticed how much of a role, how much of a diminished role Wolverine had.
Yeah,
I didn't like, oh yeah, he's there, but like it's not a Wolverine show, which we're so not used to now with how the X-Men movies went, and now
I think it was because it was a more mature story where you could justify using Cyclops as a tactician. You could justify using, you know, Gambit as the rogue. You could justify, like, it wasn't very cookie cutter in terms of, like, you know, Wolverine, he's our name, he's our guy. Like, there was a more in-depth story that you can get away with using other characters and not rely so much on Wolverine. And maybe it's the larger plan that he's, you know, he'll play a larger role in future seasons. So
he's got no more adamantium.
Yeah, that's right out of easy.
They went there,
but that happened in the comics.
Oh, I know. It's like straight up fucking panel for panel.
And then he went back to the Weapon X Factor or Weapon X Factory and welcome back.
That's us. But the reason I brought it up is because there's rumblings that we're going to get Spider-Man coming back. They didn't say no. They didn't say no. They just said it's not the priority right now. But they are, and they also said there is also another project that is secretly being worked on. I have to think it's this. We'll get Spider-Man 98. And because we saw Peter Parker was there. He was with Mary Jane. We need to know how that happened.
So would this be Sony's story then, or would this be Marvel's story?
It would be Marvel. They got all the animated rights back after the spectacular Spider-Man series that Sony owned. That ended. The rights went back to Marvel. That's why we've had multiple Marvel cartoons on Disney.
I'd lose my shit if they reintroduced Spider-Man 98. Oh my god.
Yeah, we might finally get, like, who didn't they use? Sandman.
Spot. I mean, they could expand on the Spot, which is my favorite Spider-Man villain that's widely unused.
Yeah, they didn't really use Electro. They used it in a flashback episode featuring Captain America.
Yeah. Lizard.
Yeah, they had Lizard.
Really
he's in the credits, man.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't really, like, he had like
There's a lot of
three-
things that they
Yeah.
brought people in, but they didn't really use them that much. But yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully.
So there's a
that was my fucking show was Spider-Man.
Yeah. 94. That and X-Men were my two favorite for sure. Like it was appointment viewing for me as a kid.
Yeah, and those 13 episodes.
Call back.
See, told you. That's how
20-minute episodes too. They were great.
Yeah.
What else happened? Anything?
D23, but that stuff we already know. Eventually, at some point, Ironheart's coming out. Daredevil's coming out in March.
I'm excited about Daredevil.
Well, now that you finished it.
It's true. Man, Daredevil season 3 was unfucking believable. Like it was so good.
It hit hard. It didn't need to hit hard, but it did.
It did. It did. You know what though? The more that I'm seeing Wilson Fisk, the less he's as menacing as he should be. I don't know if that's age,
I can see that.
but he's just like he's not as, maybe they're not using the camera and angle that they should be using, but he's not as towering. And they're relying more on his voice and the heavy set of his voice than his stature, right?
I think with his Hawkeye appearance and Echo, like having him, that's the uncle, right? So like kind of humanizing him more takes that monster aspect out of him.
No, he needs to be big.
Well, he's running for mayor, so he's got to look good.
Yeah. When's that? Next year? That'll be good.
March.
Yeah.
I know. And it seems like it's so far away, but here we are, fucking September.
I know. We'll have recorded, what, like 2 more episodes since then? No. We're back. We're back on our rotation.
Are we, though?
We are. I'm good.
Yeah, and I got some ideas. Now that we're back, it's to have things be slightly.
This is why we take the off
new.
season. We take the off season to rejuvenate, to breathe fresh air, and then we come back.
Don't want to be stale.
And then we bitch about Marvel and comics in general for 6 months. It's perfectly fine.
That's right. And we spent almost 2 hours doing it.
That's fine. It's great. Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
All right, that's all I got.
That is all I got too. I don't have the outro. I will have one. We'll prep a bit more as the season progresses. That being said, thank you for watching. Check us both out on Instagram. I'm at the Choi23. Corey, I cannot remember yours right now. So
It's just me at Bullis Corey.
There you go. And we're generally like on a Friday evening, Sunday weekend nights. For a couple hours, you can stream us live on YouTube. And
just at Open Collar Pod on YouTube.
That's it.
That's all. That's not all. You know what's coming.
I know what's coming.
And with that, until next time, here is your Feel Good Feldman.
What's up with you?